Oh, to the child.
We're live, so I have some stuff up here. Some ask from the and they don't have a slide yet. Yeah. Because you have to use the breaker and really stuff. Oh, yeah. Namanda, 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 namanda.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
My name is Ron Nakano. I'll be your chairperson for today. Welcome you to the today's family service. Remind everyone to please, if you haven't done it, turn off your cell phones or put them in airplane mode or whatever that is. Today, the service order is a little bit different, so I'll introduce our Reverend Fujimoto to explain some of the differences. Is that thing?
Good morning. Ohayo gozaimasu. Nice to see everyone here today. Today is the 16th of the month, and so this is our Gomeinichi service. Every 16th of each month is the memorial for our founder, Shinran Shonin. So just this month, it happens to be on Sunday. So we're going to utilize this to make this our Gomeinichi service and have this family service as focused on Shinran Shonin and some of the elements that we utilize during his monthly memorial. Usually it's just a brief morning service, and I'm the only one here. So this is very nice to have everyone here with me for the chanting. We're going to chant the Shoshinge that is written by Shinran Shonin, and I'll explain some of the Shoshinge later on during the Dharma message. So the Shoshinge is on page 33, okay? And we're not doing our usual Sangujo because the Shoshinge has its own length. It takes a little bit more time. So there'll be a Hyobyakumon introducing the purpose of this gathering, this monthly memorial, and then we'll chant the Shoshinge. At the end of the Shoshinge, there are verses called wasan, and there are a number of them, over 100 of them. And we just do the first 6. They're not in our book, but I'll have some assistance. You can listen to the wasans. They're much more melodic, but when you go to a service at Honganji in Kyoto, they do the next 6 every day. There's the next 6 and the next 6 and the next 6, and it's really beautiful to listen to. We are a little bit limited. Usually here we might learn the first 6 and just practice those, and we have not so much opportunity to chant the Shoshinge, so we stay with those 6, and many people are much more familiar with those. Okay. The rest of the service will be kind of similar. We're going to have, instead of reading the 3 treasures, we're going to read the Gobunsho letters from Rennyo Shonin, and this was part of our class that we concluded on Thursday evening, and the first letter was part of the class. We'll read that. It's on page 140, and I can read it in English, and you can follow along or read it together, and then I'll do the Japanese portion, and you can reread the translation. Okay, so these are the differences for today's service: chanting of the Shoshinge and recitation of the Gobunsho on page 140. All right. And so the other elements, the gathas, you'll be familiar with these, and Ron will help us find those pages. Okay. So with that, we will begin with the Hyobyakumon and the Shoshinge, page 33. Namanda, 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 namanda. Hyobyakumon. Today, on this occasion of the Gomeinichi service, members and friends of our temples have reverently come before Amida Buddha in memory of Shinran Shonin, founder of our Jodo Shinshu tradition. With deepest reverence and thankfulness for the all-embracing wisdom and compassion of Amida, we reaffirm the three homages, Namu Kie Butsu, Namu Kie Ho, Namu Kie So. I go to the Buddha for guidance. I go to the Dharma for guidance. I go to the Sangha for guidance. Please repeat the Nembutsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namanda, Namanda, Namanda. Shoshinge. Shaka Nyorai Ryoga Sen 集合明南天寺流十大寺出頭世質の財派無限先絶大上部情報召喚議事小安楽賢治南行六六新行異行指導楽億年弥陀仏本願自念即時入一上唯の上昇如来語法大偶税音天神菩薩造論説奇妙無下公如来越衆たら見真実高専の超大世願こういう本願力栄光異道群上小一心金入六大崩壊一逆入大へ収集特使蓮華創世界即小心療法精進入門の人間人図入所自音自用下恩師鈍乱両天使上皇乱小菩薩来三蔵粒子十条教権上宣教気楽法天神菩薩論中下王道因果見世願王言猫ゆたり少女死に類信心枠前本部新人骨承知承知即涅槃一心無量光明道小修上回復家同社結晶道南省唯名浄土活入万全自力援言集円満特合感染症三不三神経音言増末法滅道因一生増悪知偶税治安了解称名化全道六名仏性意法愛上三行逆惑光明明語見人年海流本願第一回行者小樹今後心狂気一年総合用意大と逆三人即小小市上楽現進公開一大教延期安養管理祭先祖修心安先人法華二道小弁流国十悪人唯小仏我薬剤摂取中煩悩証言水不見大無見上昇が
本資源苦行仏教連民全幕本部人新宗教書後編集戦弱本願具惑星現代小自林伝下血地上一生死即入弱上無意楽一心事二の入不教大自修士等常在無変極上悪同族自主愚道心有意化心地放送説南無阿弥陀仏南無阿弥陀仏南無阿弥陀仏南無阿弥陀仏南無阿弥陀仏南無阿弥陀仏南無成仏のこの方は今に実行を得たまえり往診の降臨きわもなくせのも無明を照らすなり南無阿弥陀仏南無阿弥陀仏南無阿弥陀仏南無阿弥陀仏不良の所相ことごとく高家うかむらあるものはなし真実妙にき 人気はもなし高速かむるものは皆無無離ると述べたも平等確に奇妙せよ南無阿弥陀仏南無阿弥陀仏南無阿弥陀仏南無阿弥陀仏南一切のげに触りなし光沢かむらぬものぞなき何時よ奇妙せよ南無阿弥陀仏南無阿弥陀仏南無阿弥陀仏南無阿弥陀仏南無阿弥陀仏南無阿弥陀仏南無阿弥陀仏南無阿弥陀仏南無阿弥陀仏南無阿弥陀仏南少女工業並びなしぐしこのゆえなれば一切のごけものぞこりる異教へを奇妙せよ南無阿弥陀仏南無阿弥陀仏南無阿弥陀仏南無阿弥陀仏南 公園のこと名付けたり、三途の国安開くなり、太陽を奇妙せよ、観にしくどく平等性祭同発母大師往生安楽。Namanda.
We'll now have Gatha, first Gatha, Namu Amidavatu on page 174. And instead of the three treasures, following that, Sensei will lead us in recitation of the Gobunsho. Please rise. Please be seated. Sensei will now lead the recitation of the Gobunsho on page 140. It's on the purple book.
Okay, so from our class, this is the first letter of Rennyo Shonin, and we emphasize this letter, pointing out that he points out the essence of Jodo Shinshu Buddhism, the essence of Shinran Shonin's teachings. So we'll talk about this in a bit. First, we will read in English, chapter on the teachings of Shinran Shonin. Please read along with me. Shinran Shonin taught that the essence of Jodo Shinshu is Shinjin. The reason is that by abandoning all other practices and completely entrusting ourselves in Amida Buddha, our spiritual rebirth is assured by Amida through the inconceivable power of the primal vow. This is known as entering the ranks of the truly assured at the very moment of Shinjin. Thereafter, all utterances of the Nembutsu should be understood as only as expressions of gratitude for Amida's assurance of our spiritual rebirth. With reverence, I remain. I'll read it in Japanese, please listen. Shonin Ichiryu no Sho. Shonin Ichiryu no gokanke no momuki wa Shinjin no motte honto serare soro. Sono yue wa moromoro no zogyo nagestete 一心に乱り奇妙すれば不可思議の眼力として運の方より往生は事情せしめたもそのくらいを一年発起入賞上始終とも釈しその上の称名念ブッダ如来我が往生を定めたまいし金法人の念ブッダ心べきなり花かしこ花かしこ Thank you very much. You might want to keep your books because we might be opening them again. I will continue and go into our Howa, the Dharma message for today. So, because it is the Gomeinichi service, we have chanted, this is Shinran Shonin's monthly memorial, and so we chanted his Shoshinge. And this is in his major work, the Kyogyo Shinsho, and it's in the Shin portion, the second chapter of the Kyogyo Shinsho. So the Shoshinge is kind of Shinran Shonin's poem explaining the story of Jodo Shinshu Buddhism. Okay? So in the story, there's 120 verses, and the first part of it, the first two lines that we chanted, Kimyo Muryo Junyo Rai, Namo Fukashi Ko. And so in these two lines, very same essence as when we recite, you've heard it all here, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu. Okay? So Kimyo is same as Namo. Okay? And so, Kimyo Muryo Junyo Rai, I take refuge in the Tathagata of infinite life. Okay? And then the next line, Namo Fukashi Iko, I take refuge in the Buddha of inconceivable light. So they're talking about life and light, okay? Wisdom and compassion. Well, life, compassion and wisdom, they switched it around, okay? So if we just read it, I take refuge in the Tathagata of infinite life, inconceivable light, it can sound like a deity, that we are placing our faith, our belief in this powerful Buddha. But to say I take refuge, you can maybe easier to understand in our present day language, that I entrust in the wisdom and compassion of this infinite, the infinite realm that surrounds us at all times, okay? And then we don't think of Amida as this deity, like God-like figure, okay? Just the infinite surroundings, okay? So in the class we were talking about how Shinran Shonin, not only Namo Amida Butsu, but Kimyo Muge Jinjipo, 10 syllable Nembutsu, Namwamidabutsu, same meaning, but he's using these words, Kimyo Muryo Junyorai or Namo Fukashi Iko, and playing on those kind of words, LinkedIn, 9 syllable Nembutsu, 10 syllable Nembutsu, and it was Rennyo who selected Namo Amidabutsu, and he's writing the scrolls with Namo Amidabutsu and providing them to temples and groups that surrounded him during his time. Okay? So we were talking about both of these during our class. So as we read the Gobunsho, this first letter, Rennyo Shonin is emphasizing that Shinran was pointing out, first portion is our awakened awareness that we call Shinji. So this is the essence of our teachings. We come to our awakening, and then after that, when we say Namo Amidabutsu, it's not special words, but they convey our gratitude, our deepest gratitude. When we come to our awakening, we become aware of all these causes and conditions that allow us to live our lives today. Okay, so when we're in the first 2 lines, the Tathagata of infinite life, the compassion that surrounds us at all times, and this compassion might be how we receive the food we eat, the water we drink, the people we love, all these conditions that allow us to live, the family that surrounds us, the children that we've had, the elders that we take care of. All of these things are part of this infinite realm of compassion that is around us. Okay? And then inconceivable light, our awareness of this, our awareness of all this interconnectedness. Okay, so all of these things that we become aware of, then we come to this point of understanding, realization, awakening. Okay, awakening, that is called Shinji. Then from there, with this awakened awareness, we're no longer just self-absorbed and self-concerned. We're able to move beyond our ego-centered perspective of life, of the world. Okay? And then still we're able to receive all of this. So how grateful I am, Namo Amidabutsu. How fortunate I am, Namo Amidabutsu. We have a meal together at social hall after, just last week after Hanamatsuri, special meal is provided. Oh, how special this is that we're able to eat this meal, Namo Amidabutsu. In gratitude, we receive such benefits in our life. So this is the life of the Nembutsu. Okay. So again, in Rennyo's letter, first, Shinji, awakened awareness. So in this awakened awareness, when we say, there's a phrase called Kiho Ittai, and Ki means the individual, I, and Ho is the Dharma, the teachings, the truths. Okay. The individual and these truths merge into oneness. Okay. So when this occurs, this is our awakening experience that we encounter. Okay. So then, when we chant the Shoshinge, these are lines that Shinran provided, and all of these are his sense of gratitude that these teachings have come to him and he wants to share with everyone else. So the first 2 lines are wisdom and compassion, and he goes on to the story of Dharmakara Bodhisattva, the Hozo Bosatsu, who as a bodhisattva, this is a mythological story that he became. He wanted to create the most beautiful, most welcoming of all the Pure Lands, and he went to visit the Pure Lands of all these other Buddhas and seeing what's great about them, what might be lacking in them. So he wanted to have this Pure Land that is welcoming of all people, no matter what their conditions. And so this is through this mythological story, he's going through all the things that he looked at and what he wanted to provide for people. And so that story goes on, that he was able to do this. He created this Pure Land, and to say this Namwami Dabutsu and be able to encounter our awakening and living this life expressing gratitude. And then he pointed out the 7 masters on this far scroll over here, that through their teachings, their understanding of Buddhism, they provided this point. And next teacher provided this point. Each of these kind of distilled the teaching to bring the Nembutsu teachings to all of us. So these were key people in the development of Jodo Shinshu Buddhism. And then he points out his teacher, Rennyo Shonin, through which he learned this Nembutsu teaching. Okay? And so this is what the Shoshinge is all about. Okay? So he presents this whole story of the journey that Hozo Bosatsu went through, what all the masters, each verse has different aspects of Nagarjuna, Vasubandhu, Dondan, Shantao, Zendo, all of these people, what they provided to distill the teachings, okay? And all this comes to our awakening. Okay? So through this, we have, I think people come to this awakening in different manners. Okay? I think some people are able to realize that this is true. When I live my life, I have all these conditions that come to me, and you realize this. This is true. And then you're able to accept your awakening. Okay? And then other people might be able to recognize that this is how the world is, and they accept it. Some people need to study, take classes and study, and they understand. Then this brings them to a level that this is true. They see the truth of it, and then they're able to accept it. So different ways of coming to the teachings, but after you come to the teachings, you're able to accept the teachings. Whether it's through studying in a master's program, or just to talk to your sensei, or just to walk along your own path in life. You know, walking the trails of the East Bay Hills or the beaches in Alameda, wherever you are, you know, sitting in meditation, or these kind of things also enable you to come to your realization. So we come through different paths. You know, we don't all have to take the class offered by the temple or offered by Institute of Buddhist Studies or Bishop Marvin Harada or somebody like that. You know, in different manners, you're able to come to realize, just like the Myo Konin did. They didn't take any classes. People told them, recite the Nembutsu and you will awaken. And they were able to awaken. So, Namanda, how true, how true. And they lived this life of Nembutsu without even studying, opening any books. Okay, so there's all these different ways of being able to awaken. I think one of the things that we look at, we're able to see, is that these two aspects of all of Buddhism, pointing out the interdependence of all things in reality, the interconnectedness of everything. Okay. That and the impermanence of all things. Everything changes. So with these two truths, you're able to see everything, that how they interact with each other in reality, in the world. But we also notice that these same truths are happening inside of us, in our minds, in our bodies, and then through that we're able to see that we are no different. We are exactly the same. We are one. Kiho Ikai. Okay, so this comes, and the essence of Shin Buddhism is that we receive this awakening. Other forms of Buddhism, we practice, and try to gain access to. So it's kind of like a self-driven path. And this Buddhism, Shin Buddhism, is not a self-driven path. So if you look at this happening of awakening from the perspective of the infinite, the perspective of Alameda, we are embraced. From the perspective of the individual, we entrust. Okay. Embrace comes this way, and trust comes this way. But either way, it's describing the situation of how we're able to come to our awakening. Okay. So once this is done, then we're able to live this life of gratitude where everything is, we recognize and realize that all of this is a gift. All of this is a gift. Japanese, they might say, naruhodo. We might say, so true, so true. And so we are able to live our lives in this way of gratitude. Every moment of our lives becomes a moment of gratitude. So this is what Shinran Shonin is teaching. This is what Rennyo Shonin was writing in his letters, describing again and again and again that this is the essence of Shinran's teachings. This is what we all must awaken to. Okay? So to have this special service for today, the Gomeinichi service, and to have it shared with all of us, I think it's a very nice opportunity. So thank you for letting me share this with you. Please join me in Gassho. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namanda. Namanda. Thank you.
Thank you, Sensei. If anyone has any questions about what Sensei just said, in 2 weeks we're going to have a Ask Dennis session. So think about it, write it down, and leave it for the temple. We're going to have Final Gatha Undok-san 2. It's on page 220 in the purple book. Please be seated. Well, that just about does it for us. I'd like to thank everyone for their attendance today. Thank all the people who helped set up the chairs and all the flowers. Reverend Fujimoto for his talk, Lenny for her music playing, and for writing out my script here. Let's see. Is there anyone new here today? Looks like everyone's masked, but it looks like they're familiar, mostly familiar faces.
Please introduce yourselves.
New one.
Dan Bolton, he's come here, but it's been probably 5 years, so.
Okay.
Let's see. So I'll take the time to remind people that this coming Friday we're going to have a funeral memorial service for longtime member Mastakano. It's on Friday, April 21st at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. That's 3 o'clock. Let's see, there's regular family service next Sunday, and like I said, that's at the end of that we'll have our Ask Dennis section, and so figure out the questions that you have for them. Think up real tough ones for them. And on April 30th, there's no service, so you can sleep in. Let's see. Anything else for the good of the order? That's it? Yeah. Good. No.
I'd like the incense.
Okay. Close out the session. We'll. I think there are any refreshments. We have some refreshments, so you can get together and discuss Sensei's talk. Okay. See you next week. Sensei, are you going to greet people going out?
Good morning.
Sensei can greet people leaving.